already know, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. It's Saturday morning again. The Rad Man coming through your speakers right at you, talking sports of all sorts for the next hour from the Rock Palm Broker Studios. We're going to get in a lot of sports to talk about. I want to thank Internet Passport for hosting the show last week. Did a hell of a job with the show while the Rad Man was out umpiring those softball tournaments and got mighty wet doing so last weekend. But we got those games in. Here we go. But with the games, we're talking sports of all sorts. Let's make it happen. And we're going to go right to the Rad Man. I told you his ass should have been ran after the 13-second game. Everybody knew it. You should have fired his ass. The guy should have been gone. You get a lead with 13 seconds left. How do you lose the game? How do you lose the game? And how do you lose the game in the OTAs? It's hard to lose the games, but your main man, Jackson Dart, man, he's trying to find a way to lose the game in the not even preseason. Here we go in the OTAs. This guy, I know he played at Mississippi. Okay, he played at Ole Miss. He ran around, threw the football, hung out. We heard what Lane Kiffin and Steve and Coach Sarkisian had to say about coaching in Mississippi and how backwards of a town Mississippi and Biloxi and all those Mississippi areas, unfortunately, seem to be, according to Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian. But this guy, Jackson Dart, hey, you in New York, do he know where he's at? You up in the city, man, the city that never sleeps. How are you out here introducing the Orange Man, the current president of the United States? How are you out there introducing him at a fundraiser for another guy? You should have been introducing the other guy if you're going to introduce anybody. But you're going to introduce the Orange Man to the crowd and then looking, styling, and profiling, all showing up, dressed up, sharp and everything, hugging the Orange Man and saying how great it is. But then, hey, man, when you get back to OTAs on Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday or the following week, I wonder what it was like in that OTA room where you had to stand up in front of the group and explain yourself. I mean, there sure is a lot of black and brown faces in the locker room, in the OTA room, where you're doing your drills. You're supposed to be the leader of the team. How are you the leader of the team? And you out here with the Orange Man hanging out, talking about how great a day it is, and great at this and that. Man, don't you know what, man? Read the room, man. You damn near lost the season already, man. This is the first dude I ever seen might have lost the season before they even got to training camp. It's only OTAs. What are you doing, Jackson Dart? What are you doing? Where's your mind at? You better give Tom Brady a call and ask Tom Brady about it. Tom Brady had a hat, MAGA hat, sitting up in his locker one day when he did an interview. He said, "Oh, I don't know how that got there." He said, "Oh, man, but you never saw it again? You never saw it again?" He said, "Oh, man, I done slipped up here, man. What hat?" He said, "Oh, man, I don't know who. Man, somebody I don't know, man. Just sitting there. I don't know how that hat got up in here. I don't know anything about it, man. But, hey, man, after that, you never saw it again. Tom Brady never played like that." Guys, these young cats, check out Tom Brady, how he carried himself, how he conducted business in the National Football League. That should be your role model today of today's NFL quarterback, all of y'all. Check out Tom Brady, how he conducted himself, how he backlayed his money and to ensure that his team could get quality players for his team to play. That was the most important thing he did, too. But the way he conducted himself on and off the field, and he had a volatile relationship with his wife, which is now his ex-wife. He had a lot going on. But that guy handled himself correctly and handled it. Even with Antonio Brown, Antonio Brown was living at his crib. Man, come on, man. Y'all need a Jackson Dart. You failed the OTAs for this year. I don't know what Abdul Carter and some of those brothers, real live brothers in that locker room had to say to you, man. But I know, yeah, it better be kept quiet. I know John Harbaugh. Hey, John and Jim Harbaugh both been at the Orange Man's rallies and stuff. But that's the head coach. This is dude, you got to be protected by these guys on the field, man. It's a big difference, man, from the head coach to being a player. You're supposed to be the leader. Look like you lacking in leadership, man. You're lacking, man. You get an F from the Rad Man right now. We'll see about it later. J-GILLZ is in. Hey, J-GILLZ, good morning. Real Deal Sports Show.
Good morning, y'all. And I completely agree, Rad Man. You're talking about you're representing New York in a time where, you know what I mean, the city's on fire. Obviously, you got the Knicks in the finals. and it's just a blended melting pot of people and culture in New York, and they're going to go up there and do this. We touched on it last week. I thought it was out of control when I saw that as well. And yeah, man, I just don't understand how he could have did something like that. Read the room. Completely agree.
Exactly. And I see Bilal. Welcome, Bilal.
Yes,
Welcome.
sir.
What's happening?
Listen, this is if you ever want to get a rant out of me, let's what I mean. This is the space to go. First of all, my issue is that when we hear media talking about it, this issue over the past week, but he was off the field. It was an isolated incident. Oh, man, check this man's Twitter feed.
I haven't done that. What's going on this? What's going on in Jackson Dart's Twitter feed?
Oh, he MAGA all the way. So you know what I mean. And yeah, if you want to say it's off the field stuff, you know what I mean. It's not on the field, man. When you are the face of a franchise, and again, we'll add the fact that New York is a state that historically has voted Democrat, gone blue, or whatever way we want to say it. We right now we have a Democratic governor who's been openly critical of President Donald Trump. You know what I mean? So for me, the issue is, to your point, you got to read the room, and I'm not just talking about the locker room. Where you are in New York State, Tom Brady, even though he pivoted when they found that, I remember that incident when he had the MAGA hat in his locker room. But you in Massachusetts is a totally different ball game. A lot more conservative there. In New York, you're not dealing with the same dynamics. But to build on that, when it was LeBron, it was shut up and dribble. And LeBron, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The expectation was stay in your lane or stay in your place is what that statement was so much trying to say. But now all of a sudden with Jackson Dart, it's he was off the field and this whatnot. The fact that they move the goalpost and make it fit conveniently for who they wanted to fit for. Colin Kaepernick took a knee, and and the man has not played a down of football since that season. And that's not because he can't play. It's because he took a stance in a position that people don't like, people didn't agree with, and we talking the 32 owners of the NFL. We know what that room looks like. So if you talk about read a room, we know what that room looks like.
Yeah,
hasn't played it down since. So we pick and choose who we're going to give a pass for doing something, political versus who we're not. I know we got it on the list of topics to talk about a little later, but I think it fits right here, right now. And that's the Naomi Osaka party that she threw.
Oh, yes, bring that up. I was thinking the same thing, and I switched it around. But yeah, bring that up right now. That's a good point.
Yeah, so she's been under fire because it's what if somebody was to throw an all-white party? What do you mean? How long has country clubs been segregated and been historically? So for somebody to say that, it shows why the issue was teaching critical race theory, but no, just teach the history. If you teach the history of this country, you won't have ignorant statements like that being made, where somebody would question, well, what if somebody was to throw an all-white party? The fact of the matter is this country has historically, we're not looking at a century yet of the major sports leagues in this country, MLB, NFL, NBA, and NHL, right? How long have any of them been integrated? Maybe the better part of half a century. We're just reaching, you know what I mean? So when we're talking about getting to the point, the NFL, the NBA has the 70 all-time 75 team a few years ago celebrated all. Well, guess what? Most of that time, the early parts, black players weren't allowed. NFL, same idea. We celebrate Jackie Robinson Day, and his wife is still alive. You know what I mean? And when we're talking about somebody who we celebrate for breaking the color barrier in the national in the Major League Baseball, we're talking about someone whose spouse is still alive. This is within people's lifetime. So don't give me that. Oh, well, what if players? What if we did an all white party? And so it's always okay when someone else takes a position in sports that's political, except for when we do it. You know what I mean? And I feel like I got a huge problem with Jackson Dart doing that. You know what I mean? What you do is your business. But if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Just call it both ways. You know what I mean? So yeah, Jackson Dart, they know who you are, and I'm glad Abdul Carter called you out for it. You know what I mean? I'm glad you know what I mean? Because y'all got to figure that out. Y'all got to figure that out amongst yourselves as a locker room. But I respect that as a man. He put you on blast because you didn't go to your teammates. Somebody said, well, he could have went to him as a man. Well, he didn't go to his teammates and ask for permission. He didn't say, hey, fellas, I'm about to do this. They found out this when everybody else found out. So as a man, I don't owe you that. I owe you the same respect you gave me.
That's right. Exactly. And Morris Thompson says it too. It's all about who's popular and who's not, and who's the big person and the fans, who they get. Good point, Morris Thompson, on the Beltway down in Virginia. Thank you for those comments. Always joining us each week. But you're absolutely right, Bilal. Osaka, the laughable thing about it is the people. Why the comment she also made, which I really loved, is why are people so concerned when black people when people of color, POC she calls it, people of color, when people of color get together and have an event? Why are white people so upset about it? Why has somebody even got a comment about it? We didn't comment when Jimmy Connors and Chris Everett and all those people back in the tennis days, they used to go have all those parties and hang out. It was all white folks. It was all white people. That was understood. Okay, it's understood. White folks gather. They party before the tennis tournament season start, or that particular tournament, especially at Wimbledon. They used to throw down, according to the media back in the day, talking about Wimbledon, the Jimmy Connors and the Chris Everett and the all those cats from that era. I'm trying to McEnroe, John McEnroe, all those cats party. They party at Studio 54. They party together. But when people of color get together, why is it even an issue? Why does this woman have to respond? Why does Osaka have to take time out of her busy schedule to respond to some ignorant comment about, why are you people of color having a separate event? It's not separate. We're just having an event. What you concerned? It's not your damn business. You guys, since the beginning of time, white folks have had parties. The Jimmy Connors, all of them, in tennis, football, like you just said, all the different major sports. Why does the people of color always got to respond to some ignorant white folks' comments about white? We why don't y'all try to be inclusive?
Listen, come on. You spot on, right, man. I'll take it a step further. Again, back to Tom Brady. If you remember, a few years Netflix had a roast of Tom Brady,
right?
And one of the comedians made a joke that Tom Brady didn't like, and Tom Brady went up to him during the live recording, and he, the microphone picked it up, but he said, "Don't say that SHIT again."
Oh, really?
And the mic picked it up. And the reason I say that is because during the recent Kevin Hart roast, there were some jokes about George Floyd that were made. And there's been a lot of talk afterwards. And Kevin Hart was interviewed, and he said, well, it was a live production. And so he didn't want to interrupt the live production to tell a guy, hey, that's your joke went too far. My point is this, is that we are often in a position where we're apologetic about like our position. Like, no, I'm not apologizing. I'm done apologizing. I will not be the same way. The vice president J.D. Vance went up, got in front of everybody and said, "Oh, white people aren't gonna have to apologize anymore." You're like, no, I'm done apologizing. Tom Brady got up there and said, "Man, don't say that again. Don't say nothing like that again." And he checked him right then and there. So ask me if it's okay about, you know, we throw a party and it's for all blacks. Ask me.
Right. And how dare you even ask? How dare you have the right? And obviously you ain't got the nerve to say it in their face. You saying it online or on some on these social media platforms. I mean, you ain't even got the audacity to come up to somebody in their face. That's it. Who I invite to a party? That's who I invite to a party. It's not your business who I invite. J-GILLZ, what you got to say about this? Isn't that how the audacity that this Osaka got to take time out to answer some idiot and this idiot person that always got a problem when people of color get together?
Exactly. It's always a threat whenever strong black people get together, intelligent black people get together. That's when all the things start to happen. As soon as you get a great group of black people together, and that's the problem. That's they're always going to be mad. You know, they're always going to be mad in every aspect in every field of this community. I mean, we've experienced that. How uptight do they get when us as black journalists all get together? When us as black sports journalists get together in these spaces? You know, they're never comfortable. It's always an uncomfortable feeling because we do it, we have a great time, and we do it to the best of the best. You know, we're some of the best people doing it and covering the sport, and that's what you see. So those tennis players, those some of the best tennis players playing the game, and they just get intimidated. But we can't let their intimidation stop us from continuing to live and do the things that we enjoy. We not stopping covering the game. I don't care how mad they get when they see us all together. You know what I mean? Getting the interviews, connecting with the people. We just can't let them bring us down. We got to continue to rise above it.
Absolutely. And I think Osaka, she was a young kid when she first came on the scene, beat Serena Williams at the U.S. Open. People booed her and she had a mental issue dealing with all of that. Said, man, why everybody against me for beating the champion at that time? And you can see now she's done grown up. She's a woman now. She's grown. And you could tell she's really seeing what's going on and coming with I loved her response. Thank you so much, Osaka. That was an excellent response to that hater hating on people of color. And there's a lot. And it's funny. I looked at the picture, the group show that they had at that party of the black, of the people, I should say, people of color tennis players. Man, I didn't know half of them. I said, who is that? Man, they on the circuit, and now you see them more and more. There are more people of color on the tennis circuit now, and they're making waves. They're getting into the second, third round of these major tournaments. So we are growing. The tennis is continuing to grow thanks to these young people. After Arthur Ashe got it going and Althea Gibson, you're seeing more and more people of color playing tennis, and you're starting to see it in baseball too. You're starting to see more and more young people of color, American people of color, especially playing tennis, playing baseball, but tennis. Thank you so much for those comments, for sure, Osaka. And people, just give it a break. Give it a break. We're so sick of this, and we're gonna keep an eye on the New York Giants and see how that plays out. See how he like his right tackle or left tackle. See if he keep. Let's see how that goes. You gotta be an idiot to even do. It's obvious he got rocks in his head, man. You don't even. Man, you gonna expect the brother to protect you after you gonna go out there with some guy that's taking everything away from people of color, man? Really? Yeah. Really? man, that's just insane. Oh my God, that's just definitely. And we're gonna move on to OTAs. Speaking of OTAs, the Bills are having OTAs. You having the Giants also lost a player to a torn Achilles already in OTAs. So OTAs is no joke. They are doing exercise. They're running plays. They have helmets on. They may have shorts on, but they are running plays. And they're getting ready for the season. And we're going to play this brief interview from I had with Bradley Chubb. Let's hear what Bradley Chubb was saying about just coming to Buffalo.
Sorry, sports doing great, man. How are you?
Well, doing well. And coming in, what is it about this defensive scheme that was successful for you your rookie year under Vance Joseph as the head coach there in Denver? What was it about it that helped, that worked for you the best?
I feel like coming in to the league, it was easy for me to kind of adjust to it because it was a couple drops here and there, but the main thing was, do what you do best, get after the quarterback, stop the run, set the edge, play with at angles on the outside linebacker position at advantageous angles, not really head up and not really like playing six techniques on tight ends, more bringing the fight to them and I feel like that fit perfectly into my wheelhouse of what I do best, and it fit into what the whole defense did best at the time. So it was good then, and I feel like it'd be good now with the players we got.
Did they move you around? Did you play on either? Did you stay in one position, or did they move you around depending on the opponent?
It depends. I had, like I said, Vaughn, and that's the Hall of Famer at the time I got in there. So if he wanted to go to the right side, he'd tell go to the left. Or, vice versa. If he wanted to the left, I went to the right. So being a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed rookie, I was just happy to be on the field with him. So wherever he said, I went. And so I kind of moved around in that sense. And then like during like pass rush situations, either he went down into like a 3-tech, I went down and kind of switched it up like that, gave different looks. So I'm not sure, like I said, exactly what Coach Leonard is going to have us doing, but I know it's from the same tree, and I'm excited to get back into it.
Excellent. And what was the biggest part of coming back from injury? What was the toughest part of being injured and then working your way back into the lineup?
The toughest part, honestly, so the year I didn't play, 2024, I would say the toughest part was trying to learn how to be a leader without showing on the field. You know what I mean? Without, showing my work ethic, without going through the fire with the guys. But I feel like that helped me become a better leader because I know how to do it without playing football down. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I'm on the field. You're going to see how I work. You're going to see how I run to the ball, how I do this. And I lead by example in that way. But learning how to, step back and be more personal with people in order to lead them to where we wanted to go. So that was the hardest challenge in 24. And then in 25, coming back onto the actual field, I feel like the hardest challenge was, just getting my feet under me, feeling comfortable, and getting the doubt of I might get hurt again, getting that out the way. And once I hit that, like that middle of the season and just hit my stride and stop thinking about everything, knowing I was good, I feel like it was good for me.
And the speed of the game came back to you. Sounds like it.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time, and look forward to seeing you at training camp at St. John Fisher College up here in Rochester, New York.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. See you soon.
Take care. All right, that's Bradley Chubb, new Buffalo Bills outside linebacker. J-GILLZ, I know you know a lot about this cat playing for the Miami Dolphins, coming over from the Dolphins to the Bills. What's your take on his comments?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's excited. I think he's excited to be in Buffalo. I will say this. We just see the same thing. The Buffalo Bills do the same thing every year. They get their old recycled pass rushers. Leonard Floyd, who had a breakout season those 3 years ago, Joey Bosa, and now Bradley Chubb is just to continue that cycle. But I think he still has a lot left in the tank. Ultimately, I think this is an upgrade. When you look at who he's playing with, I don't know how. I mean, he's gonna need a little bit more help. When I look at that defensive side of the ball for the Buffalo Bills, I'm getting a little more worried as I look at the depth chart and down the depth chart. But we'll see what he brings to the table. Hopefully, but those comments on the leadership, to me, you see, I knew that the Dolphins last season we lacked a lot of leadership. But when I heard that, I mean, dude, you're supposed to be. Everybody got their styles of leadership. If you can't be a leader without showing, then what are you doing, man? You a vet. You what? 8 years in the game, 10 years in the game, a top 5 draft pick, top 10, something like that, where he got drafted. And you mean to tell me you just learned in 2 seasons ago how to be a leader without showing on the field, man? That doesn't sound like a leader to me, if you ask me. So we'll see how he fits in over there with the Buffalo Bills.
All right, Bilal, your take on his comments?
First, I gotta. How you gonna call the man recycled and then say he got a lot left in the tank, man?
I caught that too, man.
The Bills recycle these older guys. Leonard Floyd. I mean,
man,
he had
like sour grapes.
Where's he doing now? What is Leonard Floyd at?
49. He was good. Wait a minute now. He did play well with. I interviewed him on one of the. Man, I can't think of which team he was with, but he had a good game. It was a road game too. The Bills, was it Houston? No, it wasn't Houston. It was man, I gotta look that up.
Where's Joey Bosa?
He played decent last. Oh, Joey Bosa, where he's supposed to be working.
Come on, man. I bet you find a team next year though. These guys are recycled, but I'm saying they're still going to play. It's not like he's going to be a foundational piece for the Bills for years to come. Is what I'm saying.
I hear you, but you can't say he recycled and then say he got a lot left in the tank.
They're recycling these guys, man.
Well, but you got to go for it all because Josh Allen is only going to be here maybe 4 more years at the most. So you got to bring guys in that's going to give you immediate help. It's win now. It's still the same motto for the Bills it's been for the last 5 years: win now or go home. And you can tell they got the same general manager because it's the same type. Even though you don't have the same head coach, you're bringing in the same type of guys. At least this guy's a little bit younger and is a little bit more proven than some of these other guys, because Bosa to me really wasn't that. He just had one really good year. He really, and all he can do is run up. As you can see, he doesn't hold the edge. He didn't hold the edge. He didn't make tackles. At least Bradley Chubb can hold the edge. He can make. I seen him. He dominated. Matter of fact, he dominated against the Bills when the Bills played down there in Miami last year. Man, he was the MVP of that in that game. Man, he was all over the field against Buffalo.
Bradley Chubb reminds me. He puts me in the mindset a lot of it, like Terrell Suggs when Terrell Suggs was at Baltimore. Even when he wasn't at his best, like he held the he can hold the edge. He plays physical. And again, if he is that leader, if he is that voice, as much as he is an on the field presence, you know what I mean. Then I feel like now in J-GILLZ, I see you making faces. I didn't say he was Terrell Suggs. I didn't say he was Terrell Suggs. He plays a similar style. Again, he plays that outside linebacker, holds the edge, real stout or tough against the run. Will will defend the pass, but that's not necessarily his wheelhouse. Similar mold to a Terrell Suggs. Again, but there are levels to it. I'm just saying he puts me in that mindset. And to that end, if the Bills can get that out of him, I mean, the reality is this: we know that the Bills, wherever they get this year, they're going to get there or not get there on the back of James Cook and Josh Allen. And I say James Cook first because the brother led the league in rushing last year, and he keeps getting that keeps getting glossed over like he's not him. You know what I mean?
Right. He's not a dominant player. I know what you're saying. They still, even on the commercials and stuff, I am so sick of these announcers up here in Western New York talking about, the Josh Allen guy carried the team on his back. He never had to carry the team on his back. How the hell he had to carry the team on his back last year when you got the league's a 1,500-yard rusher? He ran for over 1,500 yards. He was the best rusher in the National Football League. That don't sound like a quarterback with a man have to have somebody that carrying the whole team on his back. He had other running backs that did contributed. He had some wide receivers that made some plays, some tight ends that made some plays. The problem is Josh Allen. Quit protecting Josh Allen. Quit turning the damn ball over in the playoffs. That was the problem with Josh Allen. He finally had a bad playoff game last year, and he turned the ball over. He contributed a lot to that loss against the Denver Broncos. He even said so after the game, and I'm sure if you talk to him now, he'll let you know he really sucked it up. That was his worst playoff game as a Buffalo Bill. Now, those other games, the 13-second game, that wasn't his. Josh Allen left the field with the lead. Who leaves the field with 13 seconds and you still find a way to lose? Man, like I said it back then, and that's what that rant all came about from. His ass should have been fired after the 13-second game, and I'm talking about the head coach, Sean McDermott. If you had an owner that was a football guy, that this guy don't know nothing about football. He's down there in Boca Raton, Florida, on his boat, on his yacht, hanging out with Martini and Rossi on the rocks, man, just hanging out, cooling out. He don't know what's going on with the Bills. Come on. If that was any owner that knew football, his ass would have been he wouldn't even been allowed to ride back on the plane with the team back to Buffalo from Canada. Man, he wouldn't have. Hell no, man. You ain't coming back here, man. Get your stuff. We got you, man. Hey, man. I don't know who coaching, but it ain't gonna be you. We're gonna get. I know that much, man. You just can't win. And what happened? They wasted 4 or 5 more years with Sean McDermott, making you feel good, getting to the playoffs. But once he got to the playoffs, he just can't make decisions, crucial game time decisions with Sean McDermott's downfall. Good guy. I like Sean McDermott. I'll have a beer with him whole game. Nothing personal, Sean, but you suck during games, man. Your game time decisions suck, man. And, man, you lucky you ain't played for the Giants and the Jets. Your ass would have been fired, like I said, right during the season. Right, guys?
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of I think the tragedy of it is that you had 4 or 5 more years, and again, and with the same end result, right? You can't ask. I want to say this: even with the worst playoff game of his career, when Josh Allen walked off the field, he still had a lead.
That's right. That's right.
Even playing the worst playoff game of his career, he left his team on the field with a lead, and you can't ask more than that. You know what I mean?
No.
Of a quarterback, as horribly as he played, you know what I mean? By his own admission, not by his own. These are his own words, not mine. He didn't play to his standard. He didn't play to his standard. But when he left the field, he left his team with a lead, and that's all you can ask of for your signal caller. So to me, to have 4 or 5 more years after they scapegoated and threw Leslie Frazier under the bus for the 13-second game, and going into prevent wasn't even his call.
No.
So
as we found out later, 4 years later, we found
exactly.
out, which we already knew. We already knew because we heard grumblings about it from day one.
So you end up wasting 4 or 5 more years of Josh Allen's career. You know what I mean? To be in the same place, and again, and now you start to feel that sense of urgency where the clock's really ticking. Now you're opening this brand new stadium, with
nosebleeds cost $700-800. There ain't no $300, and there ain't no $95 no more. Those nosebleeds, Section 300 used to be $95, $75. But I remember when they were $75. Now you want between $700 and $900 depending on the opponent. Hey man, we in New York City now, man. We ain't in Buffalo, man. Y'all farmers and people coming in from PA, man. Y'all better pally up, man. Hopefully win the lotto on your way in, man. Because gas is high too, man. Gas is a luxury damn near now too. Who gonna pay that $900 for the nosebleeds? Man, y'all better, let's see. Circle the wagons. Get the MB. You gonna see the what do you call it? The MKZs and all of them gonna be out there, man. BMWs.
Well, they better hope Josh Allen doesn't ask for a trade, because if at any point you lose Josh Allen, those ticket prices, you know what I mean, they ain't going down because they got to recoup the money for this stadium. Too much taxpayer dollars went into building it, so you got to recoup that. Concessions are going to be through the roof, and then on the back end of that, now if Josh Allen hits the road, you ain't going to be selling out, so you're going to end up with a lot of blacked out Buffalo Bills games, which will only hurt this area, will only hurt West New York area. So you know what I mean. To your point, they got to be all in, they got to win, and so I respect Josh Allen because he shoulders it, he takes it on. But again, I just don't like the whole Superman, mentality or mindset they try to throw out there. I said it last year. We kept, we had that debate a few times on the show. No, he doesn't have to be Superman, and I don't want to see him be Superman. Give the ball to James Cook, let him cook, and then in those critical moments, you can let Josh Allen be Superman. Similar to like the Jacksonville playoff game. That was not a pretty game, but in those crucial moments when you needed Josh Allen to put the cape on, he put the cape on, got the team over the hump. I'm interested to see what Keon Coleman does this year as a bounce back to a very underwhelmed. He wasn't satisfied with his performance last year, and so I respect that he's handled it like a professional. Considering the comments of Terry Pegula, the owner, in the offseason after announcing Joe Brady as he's handled it like a professional, and so let's see. That's a great question. What would sports success look like for Joe Brady this year? How does this show? How does he show he's better than McDermott? Man, I don't know that he can, because the expectation is Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So short of a Super Bowl, you know what I mean? Well,
can he make better in-game? That's an easy answer. Thank you, Sports Fanatic, for asking that question. The easy quick answer for that is game time decision making. Can he rely on John Fox as his go-to guy? 72-year-old John Fox, former Carolina Panther head coach, playoff head coach. Can he go to him and rely on him to help him make critical decisions during the game? Because that was McDermott's downfall, his game time decisions, his use of the red flag, using the flag for question plays and things of that. His end game quality, that's going to be the difference breaker. Can he get the team to the playoffs? Once he gets into the playoffs, can he improve his in-game decision-making to get this team over the hump? But that's all they've been lacking, in-game decision-making and the defense that shows up. And it sounds like the way Chubb says, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to be coming after you. And McDermott really wasn't all that about coming after you like you should. So it's going to be interesting for that. And this segment was, of course, excellent segment, gentlemen. Brought to you by award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto, Home Health, and Life Insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue, 511 Bean Road. Give her a call. If you get your boats out there, hey, go ahead and put a jacket on because it's cold. Get your boat out there. Do your thing on your motorcycle. Heck, all those toys, boats, motorcycles. Miriam Rivera may have the answer for you on cheaper insurance costs. She may not have the cheaper gas prices for you, but she'll have some insurance for you that can help. You can put a little bit more toward that gas, that high gas that we plan. Award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto, Home Health, Life Insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue, 511 Bean Road. Check her out. Gentlemen, we got to move into the NBA. Got to talk NBA action, gentlemen. Let's first talk about the Cavs Knicks series that finished up. J-GILLZ, let's start with you first. What's your, and you're a Kenny Atkinson fan. I remember you introduced him to me. I didn't know who he was. I never even heard the guy. You thought, what do you think about your boy Kenny Anderson? Kenny Atkinson.
No. J-GILLZ like the analytics. He like the analytics.
Let me tell you, man. Well, I'll tell you like this, man. The Knicks, let's just hope that they had a phenomenal run these last two series. You know what I mean? 8-0. They got the brooms out. But as I'm hearing more about this Mitchell Robinson, man, that's a little scary for me. As I look to see, whoever they play, because either OKC, the way Chet and Isaiah and all of them, those guys over there, then you got over there in Wemby is a whole different animal. So you're going to need Mitchell Robinson either way you look. So let's just hope that they can get the rest that they need. He just had that surgery. I wasn't surprised. We talked about this a little bit. I wasn't surprised after the game one to see the Cleveland Cavaliers get swept. You know what I mean? After playing so great, so ferocious out the stretch, up 20 in the fourth quarter, and then you lose. You know what I mean? In overtime, yeah, they snatched their souls that game, and they proceeded to put BTA on the Cleveland Cavaliers for those final three games. So I wasn't surprised at all. But as we see with the Knicks, I think that they're in a great spot. I'm just a little concerned with Mitchell Robinson because he's definitely going to be a needed piece for this NBA Finals run.
You guys think the layoff may be too much for them, Bilal? For the Knicks?
No. Because I feel like the way that San Antonio and OKC have literally, it's been a slugfest. This is like one of them old school boxing matches that go 12, 15 rounds, not even 12, 15 rounds, and guys are obliterating each other. No, forget the jab. It's all haymakers, body blows. You know what I mean? Whoever does come out of the West, they won't be 100%. You know what I mean? You got J-Dub, who is, he can't stay in the lineup, and it tells you how bad that hamstring injury really is. And then you've had other players who have been in and out because of how physical this series has been. Did you see the shot that they took on SGA the other night? They ran clean into and he sold it real good. Like he was crashing towards the rebound, and it just clobbered your boy SGA. So the physicality of this series only. Right now the Knicks, you know what I mean, and Mitchell Robinson included. So he's got to get his hand together. But outside of that, with all of the treatment time they've been able to get and rest on the legs and fresh legs, man, listen, we running on everything. Every rebound we grab, we run in, and we are going to we're going to intentionally dial up the physicality to make sure that we're going to see how beat up they are from the last series. You know what I mean? And I think the other thing is you see the attrition on OKC. You know, yeah, I'm gonna go there. I'm not even gonna frame or disclaimer this. This is yep. I'm going there. LeBron, 8 straight years in the finals. And meanwhile, you know, guys can't have a back-to-back deep run to the finals without, you know, players falling like flies. You know what I mean? This man made 8 straight finals appearances, and it speaks to how taxing on the body a deep playoff run is. And so I think we have not seen a back-to-back finals run from anyone since LeBron left the Eastern Conference, and it just shows you how taxing it is on the body. And I think that's what we're seeing is the attrition of how taxing the NBA season is on players, because you see OKC's all beat up. And
also, you make a point that the further we get away from LeBron James, once he actually retires from the game, these stats, that's amazing what you just said. I didn't think of it, that he played in that many finals. That's a lot of basketball games to play every year, and then maybe the Olympic year, you're in the Olympics or something during the summer. I mean, just for him to, you would think that people would try to talk to him about how does he keep his body in shape? What did all those chambers and different things that he uses? And I know he said it costs over $1 million, the health care that he has to keep his body together to play. But that's unheard of to play like that. J-GILLZ, what's your take on
to that point? I remember one of those finals runs was only an extra 4 games, if I can recall. It was only an extra 4 games, if I can recall.
Who's gonna win tonight, J-GILLZ? We still see you got a believer over here, but
disrespectful, man. He disrespectful.
No. I'm just saying. And then come on, man. Come on. We talking about the West. The West is a beast in itself. Oh my God. You talking about taking out people like Joker? You know what I mean? Talking about teams like the Warriors. These talking and all those and the Warriors did make a couple back-to-back runs within that time. I think they beat LeBron a couple of those years.
What I'm saying is, since LeBron, since that 8 straight run, we have not seen a back-to-back. Anybody, any team, any player make back-to-back runs at the finals. That's
true. And I'll say this too, that the competition has just it continued to increase in those years. All these international players, superstars, just coming out of nowhere. You know what I mean? These international superstars just dropping
out like they are. And for as good as those international players are, and this is what bothers me, right? When
they've been making the finals, from Giannis to Joker to Luka to SGA, you know. So I will say they have been making the finals. You know what I mean? These international players.
I hear you.
They have not been consistent, but the talent has just been continued to grow.
I hear you. What I'm saying is this: is when Denver made the finals. And the Joker was coming off that MVP season. We are about to see another dynasty. Like, the Joker is going nowhere. The Denver Nuggets are going to be they are going to be a perennial NBA Finals, and
here comes Luka.
They ain't sniffed the final since, man. Yeah. Speaking of Luka, where he at? Where's he been?
Yeah, he been hurt, but then after that. Then after Luka, then there was SGA.
Exactly.
Now in this finals run, we're gonna go into this next week. LeBron, who was he knocking off in the Eastern Conference year after year to get to those finals? Man, we're gonna talk about it. But that's neither here or there. We're gonna get there later. We're talking about a game tonight that's gonna be, to me, it could go down as a phenomenal game. I'm hoping that we can see this is the first time that Wemby and the Spurs, but specifically Wemby, in a closeout elimination game to get to the finals. I just want to see how he responds to it. We saw how he opened up this series, playing like Radman. You called him Wilt Chamberlain from what you saw. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I want to see how much he has left in the tank. Both of these teams, to your point below, are beaten down, are bruised. They're missing key players on both ends. Harper's not all the way. San Antonio J-Dub and those guys over there. So I'm right there with you. You know what I mean? I want to see who has enough left in the tank to ultimately win this game. I want to leave it on the experience of OKC. I definitely think that, they have the home field advantage, and the way that these refs have been calling this game has been a problem. It's been talked about in the media, but to your point, SGA getting clobbered, Wemby getting just demolished. I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein's been out there literally just beating them down game after game, no calls, nothing like that. So
who you got? Who's gonna win tonight?
But, man, I'm gonna have to go with the San Antonio Spurs.
I'm a what? Like, yeah, okay, yes. I was about to say, you better talk right.
I'm gonna have to go with the San Antonio Spurs on this one, even though they're the younger team.
Bilal, who you have tonight?
I'm sticking with my pick. I said Spurs in 7 originally. I'm sticking last week when we were on. I said Spurs in 7. You know what I mean? I'm still. I don't think Wemby at his best. OKC they don't have an answer for it. Wemby, and here's the thing. So everyone was saying like, oh, after he plays one of these monster games, he's tied out for the next game. Well, they were able to get such a lead on San Antonio in Game 6 that Wemby only played 28 minutes. So that gas needle didn't get down. He didn't have to deplete that gas needle in Game 6. So I believe he's gonna come out. He's gonna put on another one of those. I don't know if he's gonna come out like with it. They wore all black like they was getting ready for a business trip or a funeral, one of the two. And then the other night he came looking like one of the disciples at the Last Supper. I don't know which one we gonna get, but we gonna get. Wemby's about to put on a show. I do think SGA will come out and of course, play a phenomenal game. I'll say this: the man is a professional to the highest caliber. You know what I mean? People can debate all they want about the flopping and the fouls or whatever, but man, listen, he has earned the nickname Shea Butter.
Well, okay, we give early predictions because obviously we got tonight's game. By the time we come on next weekend, we'll probably be in Game 2, probably would have been played of the championship series, which starts on Wednesday night. Who do you think will win the NBA championship?
I'm going Knicks again. Even with Mitchell Robinson in the finger issue, I just think the way the Knicks are playing and have played since over the last 11 games, they're healthy. They are clicking on all cylinders, and I think those things will work heavily in their favor. Knicks in 6.
All right, and who you have, J-GILLZ? Who you picking in the NBA championship series?
And I'm gonna go ahead and say that history is gonna be made. The first postseason run by this player, and he's gonna go ahead and win it. He's gonna be the most hated man in America if he knocks off the Knicks in this year. I kind of want to see that, so I'm going with Wemby winning his first chip, making history, and becoming a legend in the game.
Oh, okay, you both going with the Spurs. Okay, Spurs, the upstart Spurs. I think that should be good.
Bilal went with the Knicks winning.
Yeah,
Knicks. I'm sorry, the Knicks.
Radman is talking about. I thought you were talking about tonight's game. We both go up with the Spurs.
Both Spurs tonight, but
yeah,
for the next series,
who you rolling with? Who you rolling with, Radman? Who you rolling with?
Right now, going for the next series, I like whoever comes out of the West beating the Knicks. I just have the feeling the Knicks are ready. They don't play their best ball. I think you're going to see some slip-ups in the championship series. I'll go with whoever comes out the West.
I think it's going to be tough. I know we think a hypothetical here, because we still have to see who's going to make it out. But if the Spurs do make it, I think that Mitchell Robinson thing is going to be tough. Because we've all seen Cat, and I can't wait to get the Fanatic on here because Fanatic always be reading Cat. He always reads comments many times in these big games, and I think that it's going to be a lot of pressure on Cat, especially if Mitchell Robinson ain't 100%. That's going to be a lot of pressure on him to handle that alien over there.
Let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this. What exactly does his Mitchell Robinson do in terms of offensively or defensively that injury will hinder him so much so that it will completely disrupt what the Knicks want to do?
I think it's just having an extra body and not having your hands free. He gonna be in a cast. I'm hearing he gonna be in a cast or something ain't gonna be all the way right.
Yeah.
You see what Isaiah Hartenstein was able to do. You know what I mean? You need somebody who can beat up on him on Wemby throughout the game, and that's what Mitch he can still do, but not to the same effectiveness with that cast on his hand and him being hurt.
He can do it more. That cast's a weapon. When you
he
go
got
to
them feet problems, he got them. He a limpy dude, man. But we can talk about that next week. I know we only got a couple minutes.
Exactly. And Bilal, we're our restaurant. Where we at for dinner?
Talia Lavinia, man. We are experiencing award-winning authentic Indian food, warm inviting atmosphere, lunch buffet from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., dinner 4:40 to 8:30 p.m., 3259 in the Southwind Road in the Windjeff Plaza. Go experience, voted the best buffet in Monroe County. The best buffet in Monroe County. That's saying a lot. We got some good food around here.
That's right. Let people know we're there. Let you know you heard about it from Real Deal Sports Show when you go out there to that buffet. Excellent buffet. Check them out.
Like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube. We've been getting a huge increase in our following. The comments have been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you so much for subscribing. And also Jamaican Soul Food, fish fry on Friday, June 26th, a family affair fish fry, all kinds of fish being fried up, DJ outside, 211 Genesee Street. Check them out Friday, June 26th for a serious fish fry throwdown sponsored by Jamaican Soul Restaurant. And you got Demo D on the wheels of steel. So, hey, they're going to be throwing it down out there. Check it out Friday, June 26th. And last but not least, guys, I wanted to say I want to dedicate this show to Thelma Chandler. She was worked in the cafeteria at Edison Tech, and man, the lady worked in there for over 10 years. Handed students, she knew with the students. Some students come to school first to eat, then second to learn. That's the reality of real life. Of real life, she knew the kids, took care of the kids. Come in, everybody knew Miss Thelma. And when I came back from vacation, I was shocked to find out that she had passed. They had a going home service. Reverend Dixon sent her home in style over there on Joseph and Weaver Street there at the corner at the Dixon Church there. It was a great going home ceremony. And she's somebody that just was a beautiful people, cared about the kids. And just when you talk to her, she always had a nice conversation for you. And she's going to be sorely missed from the Edison Tech family, but we sent her home in style. Thelma Chandler, you another reason that made Rochester a much better place to live.
While we're there, before we hit this commercial, I just want to say condolences to the folks over at the Vault. Tragic loss that they experienced is family-owned business, Black-owned business, and so I won't go into too many details. But just if you know the word of prayer, pray for the folks over at the Vault. They had a tough loss yesterday in the family, so condolences to you.
Yes, indeed. J-GILLZ, any closing comments?
Man, yeah, man. Just on it's just been a lot of loss in Rochester. Other friends of the show too had some serious family losses. So we just praying for everybody. But on the up and up, man. We appreciate you to have you back, Rad, man. It's always great when we got the legend back in the building. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you guys doing this show each week, and it's a great pleasure working with y'all. Definitely for sure. DJ Sean Touch, thank you so much, Sean Touch. You're doing your thing as engineer today. Excellent job as always.
Appreciate y'all, and go Knicks, go Knicks, go.
Tell them, bro. Tell them.
Have a great week. Remember, don't forget to be a good sport. Like and subscribe to the Real Deal Sports Show. And thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you so much.